Hi everyone, it's April and welcome to today's practice. We are starting a new series on yoga basics and we'll be starting with Surya Namaskara A. As always, we start our practice by grounding ourselves. Just focus your attention to your breath and remember that yoga is about bringing yourself to the present moment. A gentle inhale, a gentle exhale. As you get ready for Surya Namaskara A, we start in the mountain pose and we lift our hands up to Urdhva Hastasana. So remember, in this pose, we grow tall to the crown of our head. We engage the glutes, we engage the core, making sure the core is doing the work. Otherwise, the other muscle groups will compensate. So remember, we have to engage the core for this pose and in the following poses as well. So from Urdhva Hastasana, we go to our forward fold. So we gently bring our hands and arms to the floor. And if you can't reach the floor yet, you can always put it on your shin, or you can always put it on your knees as well. So whatever you can do, make sure your core is engaged. Make sure the spine is elongated. Always remember, we don't curve our backs in this pose to protect our spine. We can always fold our knees if needed, but we never fold our backs or crouch our backs to try to reach the floor. So for now, I'm holding my shin. First, we fold our arms and then we do a halfway up. We inhale, folded our arms, and exhale, halfway up. After this, we prepare for Chaturanga. We start by planting our hands on the ground and stepping backward to high plank, ensuring our shoulders are directly above our wrists, and engage your core. Lower yourself down, make sure your elbows are at 90 degrees. You can also do the modified version of this where you put your knees on the ground. So from high plank, we put our knees on the ground and lower ourselves, making sure we engage our core all the way. So we lower ourselves, and you can also try lifting our feet off the ground if you can't do that yet, and we lower ourselves. And one more time, let's try to lower ourselves, our feet firmly on the ground, elbows 90 degrees. We push forward, shifting our toes to upward facing dog or Urdhva Mukha Savasana. So for this pose, we press down through the feet, firmly through the top of your feet, pushing from the back of your knees. We draw the shoulders away from your ears. I tuck my toes and lift my hips for downward facing dog, but if you can't do that yet, you can always go down on your knees and lift your hips from there. So from upward facing dog, put your knees down, and we plant our feet on the ground, lift our hips up to an inverted V or downward facing dog. So in this pose, you keep your palms and feet planted on the ground. No tiptoes. Keep your shoulders engaged. Firm your shoulder blades along the back. Create space between your shoulder blades to allow some space between your shoulder blades. So just zooming in onto shoulders, let me show you how it is done. You roll your shoulders back, rotate your shoulders externally so your armpits face the mat, and we draw the shoulders away from the ears. We lengthen our armpits as you do this. So we create a space between the shoulder blades, allowing some space between the two of them. So we stay on this pose for a few more breaths. Usually we hold this pose for 3 or 5 breaths. And then we step forward to forward fold. Let me just show you again one more time, more slowly. We just simply step our legs forward to forward fold. And similar to before, we just fold to until where we can go, making sure we feel the stretch in our legs. Our core is engaged. You can hold the shins here, and we go halfway up, and we go back to Urdhva Hastasana, bringing our arms back. and that is Surya Namaskara A. We'll go through that again, this time more in modified flow. So we lift our arms to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, we fold forward. You can reach the ground or you can reach your shins here, halfway up. And then putting our arms in the mat, we get ready to high plank to chaturanga. So I put my knees on the mat and lower myself, making sure my elbows are 90 degrees. And I tuck my toes to upward facing dog. And I lift my hips or I put my knees down, ready my legs so I can lift my hips to downward facing dog. So over here, I just take a few breaths, and you can do what I'm doing where I'm simply just stretching my legs. So for this one, I'm just kind of rolling my legs over, taking a few big breaths, catching my breath, feeling the stretch in my spine and my hips. My hands are firmly planted on the ground, and when I'm done, I step forward to forward fold. Here you can modify by placing your hands on your shins and even bending your knees further so you can feel the stretch. And we go halfway forward and we bring back our arms to the sky, Samastihi. Again, we'll go through the flow again this time. I'll be cueing in the breaths. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Feel free to modify here. And inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step backward for chaturanga. We lower ourselves and keep our elbows at 90 degrees. And inhale to upward facing dog. We tuck our toes. Exhale to downward facing dog. And we do a few breaths here. You can continue to roll your legs or step your legs so you can stretch it even more. Just remember to take a few breaths here. And on your last breath, exhale to forward fold. And inhale halfway up. Exhale as you bring your arms back up and Samastihi. One more round. Inhale, arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, high plank to chaturanga. And inhale, upward facing dog. As you exhale, tuck your toes and lift your hips to downward facing dog. And here, you can do a few more breaths. Just feel the stretch in your legs, lengthen your spine, squeeze your shoulders, make sure your hands are rooted on the ground. Just take a few breaths and exhale, step forward. And as you inhale, halfway up, and exhale, arms to the sky, Samasti. Just to finish this practice, we're going to do one more pose to just really calm down and stretch our bodies even more. We'll do a child's pose by getting on our fours and just laying down, stretching our arms in front of us and feeling the stretch all in our arms, all in our back, and just relaxing here as we end this practice. Thank you so much for joining me today.